Hello everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing so well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so excited to have you here, and I hope everything that I'm sharing is improving your life in one way or the other, because it's improving mine, and I'm sharing as I go. Most of the times we like to share when we arrive, but I find that it's also powerful to share as you go through a process of becoming, as you share the background process, the background story, the back work that is happening towards your success. So this is your billionaire in training. Hey. And I am here sharing with you the whole process, everything that I'm learning, everything that I'm uncovering as I go through this process. So this is my lane audio experience. I call it my lane because it is my journey, and I am excited to help you and inspire you on your journey as well, so that you can be bold for your lane and bold for the purpose that God has put you here for. So today I am so excited to really go on with the vibe, last week's vibe. I hope you listened to last week. Last week was one of my best work. Really, every work I did is my best work. So, but last week was really deep for me. It was really from my heart, and it was really from what I was recently just exploring and solidifying for me. I keep trying to hide my nails because they're a mess. The nails are a mess because I haven't been able to go get them done. I had put this gel nails and I can't just remove them on my own. And so I keep trying to gently remove them because I can't go to get a manicure anymore because of the coronavirus and the fears around that and people touching my hands and their hands and everything. So they're kind of mess, but hey. And so I keep hiding them. And also, I hope you don't hear the noise behind all this because my two kids are lighting up. They're really lighting up today. So I have hidden myself. You should have seen me creeping, running away from them and hiding so that they don't know that I'm here. But they keep banging on my door and trying to get in and everything. So yeah, that's life. I hope you're doing well. And this, because I am. So this episode is really how to live an effective life part 2, but I'm calling it lead yourself. So if you haven't listened to part 1, last week's episode, how to live an effective life, check that out first. It really forms the groundwork for everything that I'm going to share in this episode. If you don't want to go to that, you can still stick to this, but it really helps if you go back and learn it all together. So lead yourself. Why? All right, so I keep talking about, or last week I talked about the importance of you knowing the power you have, understanding that you're God's masterpiece, understanding that you're not just a random person with random tendencies and going to random places and becoming anything that falls into your lap. You are a powerful being, and when there is power, intentionality goes a long way. You can't just have a machine gun and just shoot everything. You will miss some, you will hurt some, but if you have focus, it goes a long way. And that is something that I was really I was really working at in the last episode on how to live an effective life, so that you understand your power and you focus on that power and you do the work that is necessary to harness that power. So it's a lot of internal work. Today I want to just look outside, like, okay, after you have doing this, when I say after, it doesn't mean that you do this work and finish, but when you do this work, you'll be progressing, right? So if you are in a good place, as you uncover yourself, understand your power, and understand, oh, okay, this is the direction I want to take with my life. You understand the abilities that you have, you understand what you can do, you understand your value, your identity, and how your uniqueness is your superpower. Then you have to look outside, because you can't do anything yourself. You can't build anything for generations for yourself. You can't, even if you're just going to eat well, you need people. If you're just going to eat well and say, I don't care about generations, I'm just going to eat well and do well, for me, you still need people to support you in one or the other. You can't travel anywhere without somebody being involved. You can't go and achieve anything without somebody being involved. And most of the times when we think of being a leader, when we think of achieving things, so most of the times when we think about lead yourself, we think of mastering people. We think of directing people, managing people. When we think of not lead yourself, when you think of leading, you think of, okay, I have to run people's lives, I have to manage people, I have to control people. But that is the last thing that needs to happen, or if at all. Because when you lead yourself, you will attract a following. You attract people who want to be influenced by you. You don't have to impose it on people. And for the longest time, I think we don't get really training on how to just be the kind of person that people want to be led by. We get a lot of training on how to tell people what to do, or how to just govern people and make people do things that we want, but not really how to become the right person that people willingly want to be led by. And I think Jesus did a great job in demonstrating that. He didn't go on a campaign to say, follow me, follow me. He just was just teaching, was just being, he was just doing his thing, and people were drawn to that, and they attached themselves to him, and he could influence them because they availed themselves to him because of who he was and what he was demonstrating and what he was being. His authenticity, his integrity was inspiring them to really be, do, and just attach themselves to him. All right, so leading yourself is really important. And it's really, when you learn how to lead yourself, it becomes easier to attract the right support, to attract the right systems that will really propel you towards your goal. And in leading yourself, you're not really focusing on what you can control, which is other people, which might make you feel helpless when you try to control what you can control. But in leading yourself, you understand that if I want to be my staff or whoever is supporting me or whoever is in my team to be disciplined, then I have to be disciplined. I have to demonstrate. I have to lead as a model. And I'm not leading as a model because I'm trying to really make them see how to do this. No, you're leading as a model because that is your default. You are a disciplined person, or you are a focused person, or you're an organized person. And in being that, you'll find that you attract the right people to serve you, to help you, to support you, and to just you support them too, to where you want to be, and partner to where you want to be. But first of all, you have to lead yourself. So I'm going to talk about 3 points on how you can lead yourself. The first one is know your playground, know your rest, know your lane. First of all, what is the playground? What is the setting, the industry, the sector that you're focusing on? And that will depend really on what I talked about in the first episode, which is really uncovering your potential, uncovering your abilities, uncovering your interests, you knowing yourself. Because sometimes we find that we get into the wrong playgrounds because of peer pressure, or because that's where the hype is, or because that's where everybody's focused in. And then you find that you're ill-matched for that playground. So you have to identify and know yourself and have that self-awareness to know, what is my rest? What is my playground? And your playground is going to be not something that just fits easily per se, but it's going to be something that makes sense to you, that excites you, that motivates you. All right. So for me, accounting was not my playground. I was playing in it, but there was a lot of things that were coming out of it that were making me really not be confident, or not be happy or fulfilled, or want to be creative and excellent in that field, because it wasn't motivating me from the depths of my heart or something like that to say it that way, or to emphasize on the depths. It wasn't my thing. It wasn't something that would fire me up to wake up, or to explore, or to research, or to find more information how I could do it better. It wasn't just that inspiring thing for me. So I knew that wasn't my race. I know what I want to achieve in my life. I know I want to be a multi-billion-dollar business person, and I knew that being in accounting wasn't something that was serving me towards that, or taking me towards that. And so I realized that in my being myself, in my understanding my superpower, I had to understand what area of life am I going to play in? What is my playground? What is my lane? And as you understand that, you have to know that in knowing your playground, you have to know that it's not a race with anybody else. When I say know your race, it's not a race against anybody else, because in a race against other people, one will win, one will lose. That doesn't apply to your life. Your life is just you. Right? So you are competing against yourself. You're competing against your yesterday. You're competing against the person you used to be, to just master yourself. You're competing against indiscipline. You're competing against your tendencies to just sabotage yourself. You're competing against yourself. So you have to understand and disempower anybody else that you feel you're in competition with. Even if their playground is the same. Let's say they're also trying to focus on being a multi-billion-dollar business person. We have the same playground, but we are going to play differently, because we've got different skill set, we've got different motivations and different abilities. So know that the moment you start comparing and competing with a specific person or somebody else, you're losing track on your playground. So you can't run a race and watch other people. You are going to miss what is happening in your race. You're not going to use to your best effect what you're being entrusted with, because you're staring and moving around. So you have to know that even if you were competing in the same playground, your race is unique to you. You have your own track, and only you can win against yourself. What is the point of people clapping at you saying you won the race? Yes, you're the most successful business person, but you're not fulfilled, you're not happy, you're not fired up to do what you want to do. It's meaningless. So it's important that you do the self-awareness work, as in how to live an effective life, part 1 episode. And then when you are coming to define your playground, you're coming from a place of knowing, a place of understanding what you're able to do and what you're not. And this is really interesting to me, because somebody else stepped out to me, I think meaning well, and proposed to me an area where I should focus on. They're saying, oh, your skill set and how you speak and whatever, you should really focus on this area. And in the past, I'd have been like shaken, and I've started researching that area because I'd have taken that feedback that way. But right now I'm like, okay, that's good feedback, thank you very much. Maybe in the future I would be interested into looking into that. I just write it down and keep it, because I know my playground right now. I know where I'm going, and I know what I need to be doing right now. I might not know everything, but I do know when something that is coming my way is not what I should be focusing on. I know it when I'm having fear of missing out, and I'm inspired by competition to do something that I shouldn't be doing. I am aware of those tendencies. I'm aware when I'm in a rush and I might make a bad decision. I can say, oh my goodness, I am in that rush again. I can stop myself. That's self-awareness, and that's really key for you to really stay within your playground. Because if you start playing other games, the rules will be different. You can't just take your basketball and start bouncing it around in a netball field, and you're thinking, well, the netball court looks the same as a basketball court. No, the rules are different. The skill set is different, so you have to really understand your playground based on your skill set, based on your self-awareness, and then know that you shouldn't compete. Competing, stop it. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to help you. It's going to distract you. It's going to make you crash. When you start looking at other people's lanes, you're likely to crash or just be ineffective in your lane, which is not what we want. The second thing in understanding and knowing your playground is that you have to explore and improve. Most of the times you want to just know, you want to know, like, I am going to be a singer and that's it. Well, that's not how life works. When your curiosities and your interests are taking you to singing, explore that. And when you are there and you find that you don't really enjoy it, you enjoy the back office of singing more, and you love to produce, then follow that curiosity. Because usually where we are right now is not the end. Life progresses, and where we are right now is taking us to where we should be next week. And when we get stuck in just a rut because we have boxed ourselves in, it will not serve us, and it will bring frustration. So you might have sacrificed and done all the self-awareness work and gotten to a place that you define that, okay, this is what I want to do with my life. This is the field I want to play in. This is my playground. But you have to know that your playground should be fluid. Life is fluid. It changes, So today you'll be inspired differently. Don't block it. Say, oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Be open to inspiration. Be open to exploring. Keep your lane. Stay in your lane, but be open to exploring different angles, different diverse point of view, so that you can propel yourself and progress towards your ultimate self. Because most of the times, like for me right now, I say I want to be a multi-billion-dollar business owner, and I have a picture of what I'll be doing in that space. But there's so much life in between. Things can change. A new idea can come up. Technology can change. And what I think will be the look of my business as I get to the multi-billion-dollar mark might not really be what will get me there. So life is fluid. Be fluid. Be always learning, always exploring, always learning and exploring and adjusting, so that you can then actualize in your lane, right? You can't just stick to a box and say, as long as I'm in my lane, I'm in this box. Then you will stop growing, and things that stop growing, they're dying, and we don't want that for you. Another point is to add flavor to the mission. All right, so you're still knowing, this is still under the point of know your playground, know your rest, know your lane. So you are not competing, you are exploring and improving, and you're adding flavor, your flavor. So whatever it is, I'll stick to, let's say, the example of basketball. You are on the court, you understand that this is where you're going to be playing, this is your playground. You are not competing with anyone, you're just doing your best, training, doing all the best in your lane. and then you add your flavor to it. What does that look like? There's some moves that you could look at other people and say, oh, I like that, I want to learn that, maybe that's good. But there's some flavor that can only be done by you. There's a certain step, there's a certain jump, there's a certain twist that is your mark. And everybody who is great usually puts a flavor, their flavor, to what they do. So you have to be open to using yourself, using your gifts and your talent to add flavor to what you're already doing. It might just be teaching that you do, right? So you might think, well, teaching is just standing in front, I'll just do it. But no, you can do it your own way. And I'm coming to mind is Pastor Mike Todd. I love listening to Pastor Mike Todd, who is pastor of Transformation Church. And he does all these things. He does the most when he's preaching. He has all these props. He has boats and water. He demonstrates when he's teaching. So one time he had a basketball court and he was dunking and doing so much when he was preaching. He's just a preacher. Some other people preach while seated. Other people preach while walking around. But he does the props. That's his flavor to his field. And that's what propels him to be who he is and that we know him for. So you can imitate other people. You can try to be like the other people. There are some rules and guidances that you have to follow, yes, but your flavor is your uniqueness. It's your power. So explore your flavor and improve your flavor whilst you're operating in your playground. That is my first point, which is know your playground. The second point is you need people. You need people. And this might be contradictory or sound contradictory to everything that I've been talking about, because I talk about people in a sense that you have to not listen to people. You don't seek the approval of people. You have to be able to be closed off from people's opinions and whatnot. And that is really important. But people in this case, that's why it's important to lead yourself, because the people I'm talking about in this case are the people you're going to work with towards where you need to go. There are people you are going to help, and in helping them, it's going to help you move forward. There are going to be people who are going to partner with you. There are people who are going to open doors for you. There are people who are going to invite you to the table. There are people who are going to hurt you, and from that you're going to learn that there's so many things that will happen, and most of the things that will happen in your life as you go towards your purpose, as you pursue your greatness, is going to be through people. And so you have to understand that there are people that you need. So to be able to work with people and learn from people, you have to be secure. And security comes, again, I'll refer you again to part 1 of this, how to live an effective life, part 1. People need security to deal with other people. When you're insecure, when somebody comes with a new idea, it might be helpful to you, you will not accept it. You will block it. You'll find holes in it. It's hard to learn. It's hard to connect. It's hard to deal with people if you're insecure. So you have to be secure. And how can you be secure is knowing who you are. Understanding you have your specific lane, understanding your value and what you bring to the table. It's a whole self-awareness process, but you have to do that work. You have to do that unseen work. It might not look like work because you have nothing to show for it, but it's building up inside of you. And that security is what will allow you to be able to meet new people and listen and learn, and be trained and be coached and be mentored, because you are secure in yourself. It is what will allow you to say, I do not know, teach me. It's what will allow you to say, okay, train me or guide me, whatever it is. How can I help you? I don't know how I can help you. Stuff like that. It takes security and humility for you to understand that. And if you're not secure in who you are, what you're here for, and your purpose, it will be hard for you to learn. It will be hard for you to be teachable. It will be hard for you to connect with people. You will repel the very people who are meant to help you, because you think they're taking my ideas, they're taking my place, they'll steal my idea. Because you're so insecure, you think you can be replicated. You think your idea is too unique, nobody can do it. And if they do it, they'll overtake you. You don't have that security to say, you know what, you can take my idea, but execution my way is top notch and you can't match that my way. So you need to be secure. Number 1, that is you need people. The second point is you need to get you some skills. You can't just say, take me as I am. I used to say that a lot in the past. I'm who I am. I'm blunt. I speak my mind. Deal with it. I am the way I am, whatever. No, get people skills. People are close to God's heart. People are God's people. You can't just use people and get away with it. You can't just treat people anyhow and get away with it. It'll come back. And just as I said, blessings come through people and curses come through people. You have to make sure you're doing your part. to ensure that you're not bringing curses to people. You're not the channel for curses to their lives. So you have to treat people right. And that will need you to really intentionally develop people skills, listening to people, not listening to respond, but listening to really understand these people and what their needs are. And then there's a quote, I don't remember who said it, but it's like the more people you help, the more successful you'll be. Because business and really career, whatever it is, progression in your life is really about helping people. If you're in your organization and you're not helping anyone, you'll be redundant soon. If you're in your business and you're not providing solutions to anyone, you'll be out of business soon. Or you don't even have a business yet. If you're in your marriage and you're not helping anyone, you'll be in a terrible marriage. Everything in life is about relationships, and you need to get you people skills, right? So read books about people skills, read books about self-development. One of my favorites that I'm loving right now is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and there is a chapter in there about understanding people. Understanding, I forgot what it says, but it's a habit. It says listen to understand, or communicate to understand. It's really transformational when people can trust you, when people can rely on you, when people can learn from you, when people can allow themselves to be influenced by you. Then it gives you more power. It propels you forward to really achieve what you want to do, right? So you have to develop people skills. You have to be kind to people. You have to have a servant heart. Always look out for people. Don't just say what's in it for me, because when you come to people with an attitude, they get defensive. To help people in whatever way, you have to get to people's hearts. You have to gain their trust. You have to get them to open up to you, and you need people skills to do that. And listening is key. It's something that I am learning. And also, not just listening, the next point is that you have to learn to consider others as better than you. Again, this doesn't contradict the first point, because it might sound like it is. The first point is that you're different, you're valuable, you're in your own lane. But when you're listening to people, don't listen with a condescending attitude. Don't listen to think, I have something better to say, I am better than you. You'll not learn anything. When you meet somebody, anybody, they can teach you something. And the humility that allows you to learn from them is that attitude of thinking, they can be better than me in this area. I can learn from them in this area. They have something to offer me. So in that mindset, you're shutting down your mind to thinking of answers, thinking of how you can attack this person or what ideas you can bring to the table. You're really just focusing on them and learning from them. Consider others as better than yourself. That's a Bible verse, which I love. I've forgotten where it is. But if you Google it, you will find it. It says, consider others as better than yourself in humility. So that is one way to connect with people. That's something that I really, really struggled with and still try to learn, because I do a lot of research, I do a lot of reading, and I do a lot of self-awareness work. And when I meet people, I can tell that they're not aware of their power. I can tell that they haven't done much research around the topic they're talking about. I can see through their facade sometimes, and that can make you cocky, a little bit arrogant, and you might want to talk more than listen. And when I started praying about it, I was like, Lord, help me, stop me in my tracks, because I usually would find myself that I have spoken the whole time and the person is gone and I'm gone, and I'm like, okay, I didn't even learn anything about that person. I just schooled them. I just preached to them and everything. I didn't hear them. I didn't hear their heart. So I probably didn't help them, So just getting to that place where I'm like, my intentions are good. When I meet a person who's not self-aware, my place is not to judge that lack of self-awareness, because even me being self-aware to somebody else is not self-aware enough. So I can only help who I can help, who's coming beneath me or who's coming beside me or who's coming after me. So instead of judging, I can really empathize. I can really be quiet and listen, and not to respond, not to have an answer, not to have something smart to say, but listen to just to understand this person and just say, okay, I get you, I see you, and maybe even affirm them, encourage them, So that is how you connect with people. And this changed the game for me on my business as well, because when I started relating differently with people, not feeling like I'm competing with people, not feeling like I want to dominate them, having the skills to really be quiet. Sometimes I'm angry when running a business or running a home. I want to pour myself on people like, you did that, you did something wrong. I keep quiet, I move myself away and try to explain to myself that people make mistakes. I am people. People are people. We all make mistakes and we need to grace each other. And nobody likes to learn from an angry person. Nobody likes to work with a reactive person who is like an atomic bomb waiting to happen. You don't have to mace everything that you've worked hard for just because somebody got something wrong. So being able to be in charge of your feelings is also part of the awareness, where you're seeing yourself losing your core, where you're seeing yourself losing your focus, and you're going to blow up, and you can be able to stop yourself and walk away or not say anything till you say something later. So connecting with people is important. And this point is, you need people, right? That's the point I was driving home. And the third and last point is pivot. I think I mentioned it already in the first point where I said explore, know your playground, and I said explore and improve. Pivot means be open to new possibilities. As you do this work, as you connect with people very well, as you learn new things, be open to new possibilities. One thing that I have had to be open to in leading myself is partnerships. I would just be like, no, you don't get me. No, I can't connect with them. They don't think like me. And I don't see the positive aspects of people not thinking like me. I never used to see that, because I thought the more they think like me, the better it is for me. No, if they think like me, we have the same blind spots and we are redundant. So just being able to be open when I meet new people and they're speaking about new things, new possibilities, new approaches to things, and I think, oh, okay, my business needs to change, or maybe I need to partner with this person, or I need to give up some strength in my business so I can let them in, or I can work with them, I can learn with them, I can invest in them, whatever it is. If you have known your playground and you're connecting with people, you have to know that there'll be possibilities that are coming. So you have to be open to changing your mind over some things, like you've learned something new, and then you're pivoting. Pivoting is like changing, right? Like you're going this way, and then you just move your leg and you're like, hey, we're going this way, or we're changing this about this. And that's improvement, self-improvement. And it can be business improvement, marital improvement, whatever it is. You have to be willing to pivot. And pivoting means maybe sometimes you have to say sorry to people and apologize to people and acknowledge people for their ideas and say, you know what, when you say this, I didn't listen, but later I realized that it was really, really amazing and it's transformational and has helped my business. Whatever it is, you have to be willing to pivot, to really change your mind, to really be open to new possibilities. Because when you hold on to what you believe and know, you might not be able to get where you need to go, because that might have to evolve, might have to change, might have to look differently. And also it applies when things are not working. No, not giving up or quitting, but when things are not working and you have tried and you have sought counsel and you know that this was a bad idea, this wasn't something I should have done, be open to letting it go. It's not that you're a failure, it's that you have learned and you do better and you approach this whole situation differently. All right, so that is all I had for you in leading yourself. It's how I'm saying this topic is how to live an effective life, part 2, and it's titled Lead Yourself. And I'm going to just do a recap, which is, first point is know your playground, which is know your race and know your lane, right? So under that, you have to know that you're not competing with anybody. You have to explore and improve within your lane. You have to add flavor to your work or your mission within your lane. The second point is you need people. All right, so be secure. Work on being secure in who you are. Attend that self-awareness and listen to episode part 1 of how to live an effective life. And 2, get you some skills. Read some books, listen and learn from people. And number 3 is consider others as better and listen to understand from them. And the third point is you have to be open to new possibilities. Be willing to pivot, to change your mind, to admit that this project hasn't worked, or to change the face of the project, to say sorry, to acknowledge people. Yeah, and that is the third point, to lead yourself. I hope this was helpful. And these are things that I'm learning, like I said, and I hope they're also empowering you on your journey towards your purpose. Your purpose can be anything that you're excited about, not just excited about, but really committed to being and achieving in your lifetime and passing on to the next generation. And I hope if you don't know what it is yet, you are still working and committed to uncovering it because it's already inside you. You just need to get everything else quieter, every other thing quieter, and you will find it when you search within. All right, so I am so happy that you joined me. I'm so glad you stopped by. I'm so glad you spent time with me. I look forward to connecting with you all across the socials. You will notice that I have some segments that I've added. Ask me questions, share me on point of views. I'm so excited to always learn and connect with you, and I wish you a great day. All right, bye-bye.